Good morning. In this particular video, we are going to go over how to write an equation in point slope form. So let's click on Monday. And your guided practice video will be posted here with your independent practice. And then I'm going to go through the live Zoom session slides for you in this video. So first, we are going to remember how to graph, or what is graphing. Okay, so, for graphing, remember we always start with our lovely y-intercept. And in this particular case, our y-intercept is hanging out here at +2. So you would travel down your y-axis, you would put a point at +2, and then from there you would start plotting your slope, or your rise over run. And our slope in this case is 1/4, and so that would be rise up and run 4. So from this point, we would go up 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I can't go over 4 anymore without running off the graph, but I can start back at my y-intercept and go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a point. Okay, so there I have my equation of my line that is graphed. And as we move on to the next slide, okay, same concept. I need to plot my y-intercept. So I'm going to be putting a point at +4. And then this one has a -1/2. So let's remember our negative rules. If I go down, I have to go to the right because I don't want to do a double negative, remember. Okay, so down and to the right. So from here, down is negative, and then to the right, 2. Down to the right, 2. Down to the right, 2. And I could also go up, and that was positive, but taking it to the left would represent my negative part of my exponent. Okay, so then I can always check, does my line have the negative slope with Mr. Slope Guy's eyebrows? Yes, it does. So I did successfully plot a negative slope. Okay, so all of that there is to say, we have a new formula, and that's called the point slope formula. Okay, so let's graph one of the points here that is given. The point that is given is 3, 2. So if I go over to 3, 2, and then my slope is 1/2. Up 1 over 2, or down 1 over 2. Down 1 over 2. Okay, so with that being said, there are multiple forms that we have for an equation. Today we're doing point slope form. So as you can see with what is given up here, there are two things that you are plugging in again. And so I just put the graph over there just so we can see the point slope you are still graphing from eventually, but today we're just writing. So with that being said, we have y minus y1. Now your y1 value is the first y value that you have. Okay, in this case, the first y value that I have is -2. I swear I chose green. No. Oh, it's down there. Just kidding. Okay, now it's green. Maybe. Okay, so because remember you have x and a y and a point. Okay, so y1 is just saying your first x value, so you're going to place a 2 there. Okay, notice that your formula uses subtraction. That is always going to be there, and then that's going to get kind of funky once we start using negatives. Okay, we're going to end up plugging in our slope there, but we have x minus, I'm just going to finish writing this out with the black marker there. Okay, and then our x value in this case is 3. Okay, and then the slope is given. So this one, isn't so bad. I'm just plugging in and replacing my variables with the information that's given. Okay, not too bad. Okay, so again, I just went, and where there is the y value, I replace the y value. Okay, where slope is missing, I place slope in my equation. Where the x value is supposed to be, I place the x value. Okay, so today we're just replacing the parts that are given to us in the correct equation. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, so this one again, the things that we are plugging into the equation are my y value, the slope, and the x value. Okay, so let's get started. So we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus, and then close your parentheses. I like to go ahead and write all of this down so I know that I have my subtraction signs in there. And so I'm just going to go in and replace what I see. Okay, so first I need my y values and my x values. So as I go through here, I know that y is -3, x is +4. Okay, remember you have x and then a y. And then my slope value there is -1. Okay, so we're almost done in this particular equation. However, we need to take it just a little bit further because in this one, we have that double negative hanging out over here. Okay, so we know integer rules and we know our double negative. So y, if I have a double negative that's really a positive plus 3 equals -1 times x minus 4. And we're going to leave it in this format. You do not have to use the distributive property yet. So we're going to leave it in this exact format here. Okay, let's do another one. I think we'll just do one more maybe. Okay, so this one we had the slope is 2 and our point that is given. Okay, so I'm going to list the pieces maybe. Okay, so we have y minus y1 equals m times x minus, and then close out those parentheses. So let's go in and replace what is given to us. Okay, so we have our y value, -2. We have our x value, which is 5. And then our slope was given to us, and that value was 2. Okay, so I'm going to place 2 in there. And then this one again has that lovely double negative. So instead of being subtracted negative, it has to read y plus 2 is equal to 2 times x minus 5. Okay, and we are done with plugging in slope and our point. I am going to do one other example because we need to also, in some cases, find the slope to plug into the point. So I will do that one on the next slide for you. Okay, so we are given 2 points, and let me actually use this one that doesn't have a 0, just so in the video you're getting not an easy one, but a challenging question. Okay, so first we need to find slope. So let's remember our slope equation or a slope formula. Okay, and that is y minus y. Yes, you can do y1 minus 2 or y2. You are perfectly acceptable to do that over x minus x or y2 minus y1 if you really wanted to, but y minus y, x minus x, as long as you operate in the same order, will give you the same answer. Okay, so I did a lot of talking on that. Let's actually work this out. Okay, so for our slope, we have y minus y. So let's look at our y values. We have 7 minus -2. So 7 minus, because my formula uses subtract, -2 over -1 minus 8. Okay, so 7 plus 2 is 9, but -1 minus 8 would be technically plus a positive or -8, which is going to give you -9. So your slope now is -1. And we're going to be using that information in my point slope formula. So I have y minus, I need to use that y1 value in just a moment, x minus, and then close out that parenthesis. Okay, so with that being said, our y1 value, and I need green because I was just using, well, let's plug in slope first. So I have the blue marker. Slope is going to go in here in front of the parentheses at -1. And then our y1 value, now this is where the y1 definitely comes into play. There is 7 but my x1 value is -1. Okay, now I'm almost done, but I do see a double negative going on. So I'm going to rewrite my equation in the correct form. So we have y minus 7 is equal to -1 times x plus 1 because of the double negative that was hanging out right here. Okay, so again, today was just an introduction of the point slope formula or equation, and we are only going to be replacing our values for slope and our y1 and our x1. We're not graphing or anything today. We are just writing our equations in the new formula, in the second formula for graphing linear equations. So best of luck today on your independent practice.